Hi, if you have ever built any RAG system that need more than just retrieving documents from a vector and giving answers, you're at the right place because today we'll talk about Agentic RAG. It's actually just a mix of agents and RAGs, and it gives your RAG system the ability to think, to reason through questions, and to give more meaningful answers and also execute complex workflows. So this is made for you if you're trying to build a complex RAG and not just a simple RAG. And in this video, I'll give you the system design and how to build a simple agentic RAG system. I'll give you the explanation behind the concept itself and also show you how to implement it using LangChain. So let's get started. So what we have here is a simple explanation of a RAG system. Why do we need a RAG system? Sometimes you need more than just getting answers from a vector store. And we touched a bit on this when we did a video about the retrieval, the iterative retrieval, where we needed to do multiple calls to the vector store to retrieve the answer to a complex question. So in this case here, we are doing way more than just retrieving data. We are giving our RAG system the ability to do a bunch of other things, including accessing databases, doing web search, actually basically semantic search, on also maybe performing data analytics, executing code. So your RAG is able to calculate the revenue of the company based on a lot of data fetched from different data points, and do way more than just retrieving data from a vector store and answering basic questions. So how does it look like? This is a simple, I will first show you the simple RAG system and why it failed. When we have a RAG system like this, and the user just come and ask something like, give me the total revenue for all the Fortune 500 using our product, you probably doesn't have a set of document in your embedding referencing all the Fortune 500, right? So the RAG will fail because it will try to embed this and try to look for documents that are close to what you have here. It will not fetch for the 500 documents or 500 contexts. It will not have the context about the Fortune 500 companies, and it will fail because it doesn't do research or go online to find this company before coming back and giving you the response. So a simple overview in terms of system design of what an agentic RAG looks like is this one. We have at the left a simple RAG. User query, you embed, you retrieve the data, you generate the answer, and you give a response back. The agentic RAG, on the other hand, it's way more complex. You see a lot of rows on all senses. So what's happening here is that when you get the user query, you pass it to an agent that can actually reason and think, right? So the agent is responsible of its own actions. You just give it a set of tools. And the set of tools here will basically be like web search or internal retriever or code execution. And it will retrieve, it will decide what to retrieve, decide what to do with it, and also decide when to stop using the tools and send a response back. So what we have here, for example, in our use case for the Fortune 500, is the agent will first create a plan. So to fetch the Fortune 500 company using the product and get their total revenue, I need to first find the Fortune 500 companies that are using our product. You get the Fortune 500 companies, you look into the vector database, the revenue for these companies, you use maybe the code tool to actually aggregate all the data, and you give back the result, right? So this is what you have when you implement an agentic RAG system. The way this works is quite simple. I'll show it to you in the code in a second, but I first want to explain how this is kind of the same, but but an advanced version of the iterative retrieval. So in the iterative retrieval use case, we have all the data in our embeddings, which means for the iterative retrieval to work, you just need to pass it the retrieval tool. It will go through your document multiple times, multiple turns to retrieve the right documents. But in this case here, we are giving way more tools to our agents, and the agents can actually decide what to do next, what to call, and when to call each tool, which gives a lot of power to your RAG agent. One of the drawbacks of this is the lack of control that you can have over what's happening under your agent. So it can call the wrong tools, or it can retrieve the wrong data or pass the wrong query. You need to be extremely cautious here and evaluate deeply your prompts, your agentic system, your retrievers and everything to make sure that the agentic system is working as expected. Otherwise, you will have unexpected results from the system. But overall, it's a really good and really advanced way of building a RAG system that will solve more for you than coding problems. So let me show you the code itself. So here we have a simple notebook. I'll put the link in the description for you to play around with it. We first install our packages. Simple. So next here we import all these packages, and we need an OpenAI API key to be able to use this model here, the text embedding tree, and also to call the model for our agentic RAG to work. So you go to the platform of OpenAI, you get your API key, and you add it to the secrets here. When that's done, you can run this cell here. It will just collect the secret from your store here and put it in the environment variable so LangChain can use it. So when that's done, we now have, let's say, a set of documents about companies here, right? Incorporate tax rate and like companies data here. We are actually just implementing the use case as I explained previously in the system design. So when that's done, when we have our document defined, we can embed them. And we are using the in-memory vector store here, but you can use any vector store you want. So here, this is the most important part of all the agentic parts. It's all the agentic systems. It's defining the tools and clearly defining what each tool is doing. As you see here, we're using the tool decorator, which we imported on the top here. And we are creating a set of tools here. We have a retriever tool. We have a calculate, so calculate whatever, so just for calculations. And we have a web search tool. I'm just simulating it here because I don't have a web search API. So I'm just simulating a call to a search API and returning a sample response. So when that's done, we have an array of tools that our agents can actually rely on to perform its work. So now we have here a simple model for O, a simple system prompt, and we are creating a simple agent using LangChain. With that agent, we pass a simple query, which is calculate the profit for company A, which is company A is part of our document here, and apply the US tax rate. We prompt the model to actually go online and search the actual tax rate, but in a real life, the model will decide on that alone. And we are asking it to find the net profit. In this case, you will see that it will actually use the calculator tool to calculate this alone. So let me run this and we'll see the result. Okay, so what you can see here is that it's first retrieving company A revenue and cost. You're getting all the documents here. And then it's calculating expression this minus this, which is part of the operating and reported cost for 2023, which is the year we gave here, right? And now it's searching on the web. What's the US corporate tax rate? It's getting 20 from 21 from this. So it's kind of calculating it here. As you can see here, it's calculating the value here based on the result that it gets from the calculation here. So it's using all the tools to actually perform and give you a better answer than just a simple Q&A system. And you are seeing here that it's going, using its tool, retrieving, calculating, searching, calculating, and giving you the answer at the end of the day. So this is how a simple agentic RAG looks like. If you want to complexify this, you can. You can do an orchestration with a routing agent that can route to a specific RAG or specific agent, RAG agents as well. You are actually free. Your imagination is your only limit here, and you can build really, really complex systems that are relying on RAG Yeah, so if you have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section below. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. There are more videos coming soon about more advanced RAG topic you may want to learn. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video.